We're going to start by looking at two German Jewish theorists, both famous for analyzing fascism during and immediately after World War II, both narrowly escaping to the US as well. Adorno wrote that the premier demand upon all education is that Auschwitz not happen again. Every debate about the ideals of education is trivial and inconsequential compared to this single ideal, never again Auschwitz. Elsewhere, in a book called Negative Dialectics, he wrote, a new categorical imperative has been imposed upon the world by Hitler, upon unfree mankind, to arrange all their thoughts and actions so that Auschwitz will not repeat itself, so that nothing similar will happen. The question that he poses in this essay, Education After Auschwitz, is essentially, can education afford to stand neutral with regard to political dynamics? Adorno says no, not after the camps, not after the specter of their return, but it's a question that we all have to face today. He's saying he's talking about both children's education, but also a sort of ongoing socio-cultural enlightenment. In other words, this has implications for the press and for speech in addition to the school. Adorno says, according to psychoanalysis, also a product of Jewish philosophy that we'll explore later, that the deep impulses within us begin quite young and only manifest much later. By the end, he speaks of desktop murderers, bureaucrats who gave the orders, writing, Walter Benjamin, another character we'll look at later, Walter Benjamin asked me once whether there were really enough torturers back there to carry out the orders of the Nazis. There were enough. Our other theorist, Hannah Arendt, also spoke of her own version of desktop murderers in her book Eichmann in Jerusalem, which chronicles the trial and execution of Nazi Adolf Eichmann. Arendt said that Eichmann treated it as all kind of a numbers game in his role as an SS leader organizing the Holocaust, ramping up the pace of the camp's ability to murder en masse. So to describe the bureaucratic machine behind the murder, she famously coined the phrase banality of evil. Incomprehensibly mass evil has a dullness to it for its day-to-day functionaries killing directly through policy, or indirectly, I should say. So for Arendt, we are reading the opening of her most famous work, which is called Origins of Totalitarianism. It's a study of Nazism and Stalinism. I include this to give you a background on the historical dynamics of anti-Semitism. She wrestles with this common idea that Jews were scapegoated arbitrarily, that it could have been any group, and just happened to be the Jews over and over again throughout the last millennium in Europe. If there is a pattern to anti-Semitism's repetition, she wagers, then something much more serious and sadistic must be in motion. And that's what I'd like you to explore.